Hello, welcome to Regular Achievers Education Unlimited, your trusted support for brain-friendly and high-impact learning. Today, we'll be looking at question number 4, which is viewpoints on methods, comments. Now, there is a change on this question. Previously, you'll be asked to compare writers' viewpoints, but now you'll be asked to comment on how writers convey their perspective and methods. Now, the task is you to comment on how the writer or the writers present their viewpoints and how they use method. And your focus is going to be on the whole source, which is your source A and source B. Now, this is a 6 marker and you're expected to spend 20 minutes answering this question. Now, the examiner is looking for how or the ability of the student to interpret the writer's attitude on viewpoints and how they're conveyed through methods. Now, your assessment objective is your AO3, that is your ability to compare writers' ideas and perspective and how they are conveyed across the text. Now, common mistake you should avoid, it's focusing only on what the writers think, not how they show it. Listing techniques without linking to viewpoints. Giving equal weight to both source A and source B. Don't ignore one. Okay? Now, your tips for success is use the writer of source A believes, that is when you're writing your paragraph, your sentence starter. You can also use any of your good sentence starter. Alright, but just use a comparative sentence starter to comment on this. This is shown through the use of, then your quote. Then, in contrast, the writer of source B expresses a more blah 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 blah. Then you can blah 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 tone using blah blah blah. Shows clear and perspective complementary on attitudes. All right, now the next is you have to be detailed and accurate in your analysis of method. Now your method has to do, when you hear method, it has to do with language and structure, balanced reference to both sources. Now use the pret in this paragraph, which means your points, reference, techniques, effects, then you double it because you are looking at both sources. Okay, now this is what the pret structured paragraph represents. Okay, it's points. Now for the point, still on the travel article, is that the writer convey contrasting attitude towards their travel environments. The cyclist in source A is frustrated with urban dangers, while the camper in source B finds beauty in simplicity. In source A, the cyclist describes how a driver decides to overtake my bike very closely and at speed. Now for the techniques, the use of specific and emotive detail create tension and highlights the danger of city travel. Now for effect, it shows the writer's anger and stress of navigating an unsafe environment. Now that is for the first part. Now for source B strictly, I beg your pardon, you say in source B, the writer describes how you will be wet and grimy, but you will have gained a new stock of health and spirits. For the reference, which is the quote, this contrast uses sensory imagery and metaphor to show discomfort paired with personal renewer. The method or the metaphor of a new stock suggests emotional richness gained from nature. Then for the effects, while source A shows urban travel as threat, source B presents nature as cleansing and rewarding. Now, this is my second P paragraph. You can pause the video, or did I say P? No, print paragraph. You can pause the video and go through it and just master it. Now, you'll be left to make a third one, but this is my third one. You can also pause to go through. Now, you must not represent this as point reference evidence, just have it as your pre-plan. But when you are writing, make sure you put everything together without the acronyms. All right. So that is the end of our analysis for paper 2, question number 4. See you soon. Bye.